Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are delighted that you have welcomed us into your home. You know, we would love to hear from you. So send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And today, our guests are Art and Laraine Bennett. Now, Art and Laraine have written several books together, and Art is a licensed marriage family therapist, and Laraine is an author. And they are here today to talk to us about a fantastic new book that Laraine has authored independently entitled The Little Way of Living with Less, Learning to Let Go with a Little Flower. And this beautiful book is available at ewtnrc.com. And it's a great, challenging book. Yeah. We always say less is more, right, but then we always seem to get more. Yeah. And but we're working on that.
So they've written like 8 books,
yes,
I think. You know, Art's written about 6, and she's written 2, and they're really at the service of the church, especially marriage, the family. They do so many things in these areas of understanding yourself, your own temperament, understanding one another, and great website. And it's interesting, you know, because we got this the little way and simplicity of life, and oftentimes we don't think about that in terms of marriage and family thing, but it's just so important, and they're going to unpack that. Therese of Lisieux helps them to unpack that, you know, what true detachment is from creatures, from things, even from ourselves. And it's a little frightening, it sounds harsh, or what's going to happen, but it's all meant, according to them, to bring you to your true home, to really be at peace, to be with the Lord, to be one with Him through simplifying your lifestyle.
And we know that we have journeyed with people even on as they were in their dying times, and you watch that detachment, and it's supernatural, but ways that we can incorporate it on the journey, not on our deathbeds, not in those peril times, but to incorporate it to participate in the freedom that God wants to give us all along the way.
As you said, we are going to be detached. I feel like I'm being detached the older I get, and physically. So now, while we have some strength, let us willfully detach ourselves and place less value on certain things and greater value on the Lord and on our relationship, right?
Yes.
We'll
God
be right
help
back.
us.
Right back. Plenty more to come. The book is The Little Way of Living with Less. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, today our guests are Art and Laraine Bennett. Now, Art and Laraine have written several books together. Art is a licensed marriage family therapist, and Laraine is an author. And they're here today to talk with us about a fantastic new book that Laraine has authored independently entitled The Little Way of Living with Less, Learning to Let Go with a Little Flower. And this beautiful book is available at ewtnrc.com.
Let me say something.
Yes.
Laraine wrote the book, but Art's lived it with her.
Oh, no doubt about that. The deal is that you may have, that's right.
That is true.
And anything, I'm sure, in any other book that he's written, you have journeyed with him, right? Because you were one. Yeah. And so she may have been inspired by the Holy Spirit to write this book, but then she had to work it out with you, Art.
That's right.
And so, yeah.
That's true.
Well, tell our family a little bit about yourselves and what inspired you to write this book.
Well, so I am, well, we've been married for 46 years, and let's see, I have a master's degree in philosophy, and I'm the writer, and he's the psychologist. I'll let you, therapist. I'll let him tell you about that. But since you asked, what inspired me to write this book was actually, it was a few years ago, and all our kids had grown up. Well, we have 4 kids, 8 grandkids, soon to be 11 grandkids.
Wow. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, I know. Praise God. So we were alone in our big suburban house that was about 4,000 square feet, big one that we raised the kids, family home, right? Way out in the suburbs, far away from work. And one day Art says to me, he goes, do you remember this? you go, Laraine, we only live in 10% of this house. And yet, we have to fix the roof and fix all the leaks and clean it and keep it up, and we're storing all our kids' stuff, right?
Said the wise, very wise man.
The wise husband, yes. And so we're like, yeah, what are we doing with this? You know, we don't actually need it. And it was actually a 4,000 square foot storage unit for our kids' stuff. And surprisingly, the stuff they didn't want.
Right.
So, so we kind of like, drastic move was, why don't we sell the house? Why don't we, downsize? We don't need all this stuff. And so that's when we kind of embarked on this project. And it was a tough one. It was really, really hard. And in the process of this, of detaching, as you mentioned earlier, that process of getting rid of all this stuff, accumulated stuff, my parents' stuff, our stuff, our kids' stuff, I kind of turned to St. Therese, the little flower, for her wisdom. I was kind of seeking. She is, she's all about simplicity and trust and the little way and complete confidence in God. So what could she teach me about this process? And that's kind of how the book started.
Art, your perspective on all of this?
Well, we were surprised that we thought we were a little more enlightened and kind of traveled light. We had no idea how much stuff we had stored, often with good reason. Our kids were playing sports at the era where if you had a pulse, you got a trophy. So our kids all had tons of trophies. So I take a picture of the box of trophies for my son or my daughter, and I go, listen, I'm going to hold on to these till Saturday. If you don't want them, I'll go to the dump. Let me know what you want. And it was crickets.
Crickets.
Boys don't want their stuff, the girls. So we really realized we were holding on to things in kind of a dysfunctional way. We didn't need to do all this. And then we had books that we might read, but now, we've been married 46 years. If you haven't read it for 20 years, I think we need to get rid of it.
Right.
You're going to wait another 20 years? I don't think so. So we were shocked how much we had grabbed onto things. And that was a little startling to us.
It is. It's surprising.
We wanted some guidance other than just kind of, we're downsizing. We wanted to see what's this opportunity. What does it say about us? And we found that we were more detached. We were attached to some of the wrong things. We wanted to become more detached to be free. So it was an opportunity to.
Yeah.
Well, and the beautiful thing, you did it in a season of your life where you're both healthy, right?
Right.
I mean, because sometimes some couples find themselves in this situation and someone's really gravely ill and not able to move boxes or even take a picture, right? And so thank God that you were in the season where you could physically move.
Right, and we thought it also would be actually a gift to our kids that they don't have to do it down the road,
That's a good point.
But yeah.
You said in the intro, Jim, detachment is something you have to come to terms with. You don't outrun it, you don't ignore it. You can delay it, I guess, up to a point. So we kind of took the bull by the horns. Then Laraine, says, I think I'd like to write about this, which is her way. I always have to watch what I say or do because my wife
It's going to wipe in a book. Did I really say that?
I'm like Taylor Swift, though.
Except all the breakups.
So as you're going through this process, I mean, at first, it's sounding just like, this is the smart thing to do. We're not using all of this, and we could do something more simple. Maybe we can even do more with money if we get a smaller place. But then you're saying, you start asking the questions as Catholic Christian people. What's the foundation for this? Why are we doing this? Are we doing this because it's just smart to do? Or is there something in this spiritually?
Exactly.
What do we need to learn in this about, like you say, detachment? I don't know how many people go around thinking about the term detachment. It's a great, it's a great term. So how did this evolve? How did it get deeper? It was practical, and then it's saying, like, why are we doing what we're doing?
I think, like in my case, I just discovered how hard it was. So for example,
what was hard? Like letting go?
Okay, letting go of things, and you wonder. It's funny because I was thinking about the in the book I write about too, the sometimes we wonder about the Israelites in the desert, you know, like why as soon as Moses goes up the mountain, they go, let's make a molten calf. And you're going, what are they doing that? They, you know, they have God leading them every day with the pillar of cloud and the fire, and also he's feeding them in the desert. He's giving them manna. And then they go, oh, well, he's gone up the mountain, so let's have a molten calf. Like, why? But don't we do the same thing in a way? Like when we're stressed or we have anxiety, or I think sometimes we're lonely or whatever, something's going wrong in our lives, and we say, well, where's God? You know? And then we turn to these things that it's sort of our comfort, you know, our comfort zone. And sometimes it's possessions, and sometimes it's other things like attitudes, or, you know, could be, I don't know, could be power or, you know, security or whatever, but possessions. And we kind of imbue these possessions with a power that they really shouldn't have. And I discovered I thought, like Art said earlier, you know, I thought I was more spiritual than that, you know, and then it came time to part with some of these things, and I was like, well, wait a minute.
This means something to me.
Yeah, how am I going to get rid of it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially, I mean, I read the part about your garage, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's all that stuff. I mean, and we all have all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's awful. Like, my son will come home, and I have a junk drawer. And one of my granddaughters is a great organizer, and she will come and organize the junk, which I so appreciate. But when Wesley comes home, our youngest son, he opens up the junk drawer. This is what he does. And he takes a deep breath. And then he closes the drawer. And I don't know, it does something to his interior life. It's kind of like, okay, all is well with the world. I know what's in this drawer, you know? And I'm like, Wes, and he's just like, I just feel secure when I can see that drawer.
Maybe we need to do what Art did. You got 24 hours to get any of this when it's going.
Well, everything in the junk drawer is by definition junk.
It is.
Therefore,
but you need that junk.
Either has, no, you don't.
I still have those.
It either has a place or it goes in the trash.
Right. But it's the function of the junk, and that, you know, and if you're ever looking for something, you just always go to the junk drawer, because it's always there.
But it's attachment.
You know.
What was your process? What were you learning? Was it hard? Was it easy? You know, in one sense, you're saying 24 hours to get the stuff. And what was difficult for you, if anything?
What was difficult for me was, first of all, like Laraine said, just getting rid of stuff that wasn't that valuable was hard. But I think also the realization, and I saw this in the marriage therapy too, and I used to work for Catholic Charity, we used to work with the poor, and all that, is that things can really take on a power. They can be very seductive, and you start getting more and more things. And okay, there's nothing inherently wrong with having things, for God, you know. On the other hand, then they start to see they encroach on your time, and they encroach on your money, then they encroach on your relationships. You're starting to manage all this stuff all the time, and all these events and all these things you have to do. It's almost flipped. It's almost like people are the ends, and things are the means. They're only mean, but sometimes that can get flipped.
Right.
I think in our life, we realize that some things got flipped here.
Yeah.
We're putting too much priority in stuff that is not that important, and it doesn't really strengthen. So I see marriage therapy all the time, and it's something every marriage struggles with. You know, we're trying to figure it out all the time. How do you strengthen the bond with your kids, with your wife, with your God? How do you strengthen the bonds?
Yeah.
Then you realize that has very little to do with stuff. It's got a whole lot to do with time and talking and getting together and having a simpler life. So we took it as an opportunity to really try to kickstart our values a little bit more strong.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
let's see if we can go into a tiny spot.
Yeah, we went down from 4,000 to 1,000.
Right.
So we had to get rid of a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And one of the things I discovered is that some of the things are you give them this power because you've invested like an imaginary world around it.
Wow.
Like, for example, our Amish farmhouse table, and it didn't fit in the new place. It literally did not fit.
Oh, we love that table. Right?
In the dining room, and we love the table.
Right.
But what did it represent for me? It meant all my kids coming home.
Right.
It meant everybody coming for Thanksgiving, and I'm doing the Thanksgiving.
Right.
Oh, you know, the best.
Right.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
But there was something wrong with that too, because we could pass on the torch. You know, how about somebody else can have Thanksgiving? Well, anyway, I'm holding on to this table, and I took it apart because it didn't fit in the dining room, shoved it under the bed, and there's something wrong with that. Okay, there's a little attachment there.
Right,
You know,
right.
so I'm like, okay, time to go. This has got to go.
Yeah.
Ended up giving it to our son and daughter-in-law.
Who needed it?
Who needed
Right.
it?
They have 4
Like, what
kids,
am I
they need
doing with it?
and they use
Right.
it every day. Right.
use it
You
every
and
day.
Art are sitting at a smaller table.
Yes, exactly.
Right. No.
I know, but it's like, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's very freeing, like you said. You mentioned that, freedom.
See, in our world, for me, I'm not ready to detach, and Jim always says this to me, are you ready to give up Thanksgiving? And I'm not, because they come and they're all there, and the memories and everything and I'm just not, I'm gonna get there, but I'm not there yet. And someday somebody's gonna say, bring a casserole. I mean, that's gonna happen in my world, I envision, or maybe not, maybe they won't invite me. But you know, but we have to, you have to journey in that way and have that conversation. How were your children when you told them, we're selling, we're out? What was their responses?
Actually, they were pretty good about it. That was surprisingly the one that I thought it was actually the most attached. The one who made me have that giant, the basement filled with most of her stuff. You know, she was really, you know, I thought she was going to be upset with us, but she was like. She laughed about it. She goes, yeah, well, that's one way of getting us to get get our own stuff back, you know, because they're married. Like she has her own place. You know, here you can have your wedding dress now.
Right, it's yours. I understand.
Why do I have your wedding dress? You know, and the wedding bouquet, by the way, in my closet. Anyway, so everybody took it really well, and I think they've actually. This is something that I've been thinking about lately, that the younger generation might actually be more aware and open to the idea of being more intentional about what they have and how they're living.
Right.
They're not just, we need a big house.
Right.
I mean, many are that way, but actually the people that I know, you know, in our kids, I would say they're all like that. They're not just like, I need the biggest house that I can find, you know, and I need to be impressive and impress the neighbors. No, they're much more intentional. So I like that.
And the freedom that comes with that. I mean, I can remember, this used to always be my goal. All I need, I used to say this, when I say this to God, now he laughs at me. I just need 2 pair of underwear and a backpack and lipstick, and I'm good.
You're good.
That's what I would say.
You're not at that point
I'm
yet.
not there. Well, I used to say that at 19.
Yeah.
And I have come a long way, baby, with stuff. And then it's like, there is that beautiful freedom, that interior journey, because now you don't have to worry about the gutters. You don't have to worry about the garage and all the stuff that takes your time and your energy, where maybe you could go sit in adoration, or you know, or you could go face to face with another human being and have a conversation, as opposed to being so isolated, as you said in your book about in suburbia, where everyone was so isolated, by design, by man,
right.
Share with us. Okay, so you moved out of that house, you moved to another house that was in America, right? But you had some trip to Germany, something dramatic.
That was
happened
when we
with
were
that?
younger,
Okay, that was younger. Well, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Did that fit?
That was, it was about 10 years. We were married about 10 years, and we went from California. We knew each other in California, Southern Californians, off to Germany to work on I was working on a program for Army kids with drug problems. It was a very noble cause and good work. But we left all of our friends behind, all of our relatives
Actually, we sold
behind.
everything, too.
We sold everything and landed in Germany, and had a brand new job working in the military. I'd never been in the military. And working with the Germans, which was interesting, and I'm a flaky Californian. And we had a lot to learn. And we moved into, of course, a very small place. And we saw at that time Germany was the most wealthy country in the world. They were on top of everything. They lived in small little places. So that was puzzling to us.
Yeah.
And they kept care of everything. And they watched it. Now, I'm not saying,
the details
when I say
were
the Germans are
amazing.
perfect, I mean, they're causing trouble.
We like
all the time.
Germans.
No.
Yeah, okay, good.
That's right. But we learned a lot from them. That first
we
of all,
learned so
things
much.
could be there can be a lot of people in a dense place, but it doesn't feel crowded. We learned that. The order of neatness and tidiness, and things don't have to be radically available. So we learned from that. It made a big difference in our life. We kind of filed
You
our
don't
way,
have to
came
be
back to
shopping
California.
24/7. Yeah.
And then we came back here to the DC. We came back to the DC area, and we kind of forgot all that, and we got a big house.
But the Lord was this preparation.
It was
right.
It was planted a seed that came to fruit maybe
Beautiful.
20 years
We're
later.
going to pause. We're going to hold you over for the final segment so we can share more about the book and the things you're learning about detachment. So there's plenty more to come. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. Speaking with Laraine and Art Bennett, their wonderful book, The Little Way of Living with Less, Learning to Let Go, with the Little Flower Sophia Press. So we only have a few minutes here, but where does Therese come in to your story? It's great to hear your story. Why did you turn to her? And I guess she must teach on detachment. And what is she saying? What's spiritual detachment as well as physical detachment? In 3 minutes.
Well, first of all, I was turning to her because she practiced with heroic virtue, all these incredible virtues of charity and trust and humility and surrender and confidence in God and poverty of spirit. And so I realized that I didn't have these, like many of these virtues, especially when I saw how attached I was to the many things that we had in our house, and to the house itself even.
Yes.
You know, and so I wanted to understand. So I had already read the Story of a Soul like a couple of times, and then I reread it, and then the third time I'm like, wow, she is way more profound than I even realized the first time, you know, or the second time even. And one of the things that she said, the only good thing is to love God with all one's heart and to be poor in spirit. And so what did she mean by that? Well, first of all, that's what we're called to do, is to love God with all our heart. And she did that, you know, beautifully. So, you know, how can you, if your heart is filled with many things, you know, and that's what I was finding. There were many things filling my heart, and not always possessions, but a lot of times it would be attitudes even, like things that, you know, I have to live this way, or, you know, we were talking about Thanksgiving, you know, everybody has to come to my house, like it's a thought or something,
Right.
you know, and, or even, who knows, everybody has something different. But she's saying, you know, we need to empty ourselves of this and just fill it with the love of God. And she said, practice poverty of spirit. And in fact, as Christians, we are called to evangelical poverty. Like, and in this country, it's kind of shocking in a way, like to even think, you know, we have so much stuff, like, so we don't even know what that is.
Right.
So that was kind of how I wanted to turn to her to understand.
And it gets complicated in the Christian view because to be prosperous and I mean that's kind of like get intertwined. It's like, wait a minute, when we've met people, you know, the whole it's like, oh, I have all this. I'm a great Christian. God has blessed me. I'm blessed. It's like, well, my friend lives in Africa, and she eats one sweet potato a day, and she would say she's blessed.
Wow.
And you know, so it's like, which one is right? God, where's the balance? Where's the beauty? Where's the truth in all of that?
Sorry.
I think you just want to attach to whatever helps us to love God and neighbor and family, and detach from anything else. I think that's kind of the bottom line. I want to be radically attached to love. I want to be radically attached to brings my family together. I want to be radically attached to whatever brings me closer to God. Everything else, I need to take a hard look at. A hard look at. So I might work real hard. I might take a real stressful job so I can get my kids into Catholic school. And then husband and wife need to say, is that worth it? Yeah, I think it is. They'll get closer to God. They'll get closer to values. So you're gonna have to work hard to make that happen. But that's not being attached to money. That's being attached to having my kids know Christ, and I have to pay the price for that. So attaching to love and detaching from everything else, I think, is the moral of the story.
Right. And the other thing is, like the ultimate detachment, as you mentioned, you know, is at the end of the. You mentioned the end of our, and we will be detached whether we like it or not. And it's kind of good to at least get started on thinking about it earlier, rather
when
than
you have body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
Laraine and Art, thank you so much for bringing to us this book, The Little Way of Living with Less. Thank God we have you tomorrow to unpack it more fully. You can get it at ewtnrc.com, ewtnrc.com. The Little Way of Living with Less, Learning to Let Go with the Little Flower Saint Therese. God bless you and all of your loved ones. Keep it on EWTN. Bye now.